Because actually, can I ask you? So
People have changed their borders all the time. I don't care what they go for.
Yeah. So I've spoken to like Orthodox Jews before.
Yeah.
And I know that their belief is that they just believe in the Torah, and then they have their
They got the Talmud as well.
Yeah, Talmud. So what is your? Are you with? Do you believe how they believe, or are you Messianic, or?
Oh, no, I'm not Messianic. No,
Right.
I believe just the Torah. The Talmud is never from God. The Talmud was written by men, by rabbis, in the past, and they give their personal points of view.
Right. Right.
So I like their personal points of view, or some of them.
Yeah.
But none of it is law from God. It's just personal point of view.
Right. So you're like a Torah believer, but not the Talmud.
I like the Talmud.
Yeah.
I'll explain why it happened. The Talmud. In the Torah, it tells the Jews, if you have a problem, you go to the temple in Jerusalem.
Yeah.
You speak to the priest, and they'll give you the answer.
Yeah.
When the temple was destroyed and the Jews were spread around the world, they couldn't go to the temple because it wasn't there. Couldn't get there in any case. So the rabbis said, what can we do to help our people? So they thought, okay, what questions might they ask? So they wrote a book of any question anybody might ever ask, and they sent them all around to where the Jews were. So the Talmud is a good book. I like it.
Right.
But some people put it almost on par with the Torah, and that's wrong.
Yeah, because I think that's the part where where it says about how people are like elevating the rabbis. So because it's the rabbis are the ones who make the rulings in the Talmud, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if people go by what they say, then that's where they can elevate them up to like a high level, like you're saying.
So I'd say I like the Talmud.
Yeah. So what was wrong? So with your belief, do you have like is it like a name for it? Because I know that
it's Jewish.
Because all I know.
Okay, I'll explain. Actually, the terminology is important.
Right.
Some Jews follow rabbinic Judaism.
Yeah.
So they follow the Torah and also the Talmud, which is written by the rabbis. That's rabbinic Judaism.
Yeah.
I follow what's called Reform Judaism.
Right.
And we can pick and choose.
Oh,
we can pick and choose.
Right, so when you reform...
And we think we're expected to pick and choose. What was appropriate 3,500 years ago isn't necessarily appropriate now. Do you know, if I go by the original Torah, if a Jew doesn't go to synagogue, doesn't observe the Sabbath, we can stone him to death.
Yeah.
Okay, but now we've decided we don't do that anymore. Right. So yes, we have got to update our Torah. Yeah.
Okay, so you know your group. Does your group
Reform Judaism?
Yeah, Reform Judaism. How in terms of influence? Because it seems to me like the ones with the most influence are like secular Jews, because they seem to be the one with the power.
No, some of the secular Jews are, but a secular Jew, somebody think that means you don't believe in God. No, a secular Jew may well believe in God, but doesn't follow a particular religion.
Right.
But they can still believe in God.
Right. So
I know lots of secular Jews. A lot of them, they observe the Sabbath. They have all the festivities, Purim, all those they do them.
Yeah.
They just say, but we can make our own minds up on how we do things. So they don't they don't go to a synagogue necessarily. So they're called secular.
Right. So do they have leaders? Because even in because I know you mentioned the New Testament. Because in the New Testament, the leaders who were set up were bishops, and the ones under them were deacons. So these Reformed Jews, do they have any kind of like leadership system?
In Reformed Judaism, and just so you know, in America, more Jews follow Reformed Judaism than Orthodox Judaism. It's the biggest group of Jews in America in Reformed Judaism. And yes, they got their own rabbis, their own chief rabbis.
Right, okay. But
in England, there's Orthodox Judaism, Reformed Judaism, Liberal Judaism. They've got their own chief rabbis.
Right, so these rabbis, do they because they're Reformed, they'll pick parts of the Talmud.
Yeah.
But not all the bits they don't think are relevant.
That's right. In the Talmud, because beginning the Torah, in the Torah, it doesn't say whether you're Jewish, if it's down your mother's side or your father's side. It doesn't mention it there. In the Talmud, they decided it's down your mother's side. The reason was, if you got raped, you don't know who the father is, but you know who the mother is, because the mother's got the baby, the big bump, which is the baby. So they decided Judaism goes down your mother's side.
Yeah.
Reformed Judaism used to agree with that. Then they said, it's not fair. You got somebody who's Jewish, and his wife isn't. His children could be Jewish as well. So about 10, 15 years ago, Reformed Judaism changed it. Said, you're Jewish whether it's your mother or your father's Jewish. So
right.
yes, so in Reformed Judaism you can do that sort of thing. Yeah, and that's good.
All right.
That's good.
But they so did they have to like come together and have like a
Yeah, they spent years debating it.
Oh right.
And then they had a vote on it, and they said, yeah.
Right, and
in fact, what they did initially, they said each rabbi in Reformed Judaism can make his own mind up on that.
Right.
But I think eventually they said yes, we'll do that.
Right. So with Reformed Judaism, because I'm just thinking about like how things are like with the Catholic Church, is to be a rabbi of Reformed Judaism. Is there a specific school you have to go?
Yeah, they've all got their own schools. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So there isn't one.
No. So the Orthodox go to Orthodox ones, Reform goes to Reform ones, Liberals go to Liberal ones. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And all right. Okay.
And you need laws. Now, for instance, in the Torah, it says you can eat meat, but you must not have the blood.
Yeah.
Okay? So then, about 100 years ago, whenever it was, they started blood donating. Jews say, oh, can we go blood donating? Can we give blood? Can we receive blood in a blood donation?
Yeah.
According to our Torah, well, you can't eat it, doesn't mean you can't inject it. So the rabbis got together. There was no blood donation in those days. God didn't give us advice. They had to think it out for themselves.
Yeah.
And they said, yes, if you can save a life, then do it.
Right.
So Jews go blood donating. In Israel, they got blood donating.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So the these like the that's one thing I was wondering, because I asked this of the Orthodox Jews, and I remember I had a long conversation with them, and they said something about they don't do evangelism. So,
not really. Not well. Evangelism means trying to bring people to your religion.
Yeah.
Jews don't do that. I don't do that.
Right.
I talk about religion, and I say, yes, it's good to have a religion. If you're Jewish, stick with Judaism. If your background's Christian, take up Christianity. If your background's Islam, take up Islam. You do whatever you want, whichever one you want. But my recommendation is stick with the religion that your background is.
All right. So how, in your belief, how do you view salvation?
In Judaism, everyone goes on to the next life. Christianity, only Christians go on to the next life.
Yeah.
Islam, only Muslims go on to the next life.
Yeah.
But because we believe everyone goes on to the next life, we don't say you haven't got to become Jewish. No. Just believe in God. In fact, when they wrote the Talmud, because they had to deal with all these things, because they're living amongst the non-Jews, they said there's the 7 laws. And if you have these 7 laws, you'll be all right in the next life.
That's a Noahide one, isn't it?
That's right, the Noahide laws. Yeah. That was made in the Talmud by the rabbis. So that's why we don't say become a Jew. You don't need to take up Judaism. Stick with your own religion. You can go to the next life in any case with that religion.
But where do you think they got that from? Because when I'm reading in like the Old Testament...
Well, they had to think it out for themselves. Yes, in the Old Testament, nowhere does it say only Jews go on to the next life.
Right, but they have to believe in God's what was the best? They said because when God spoke to the Israelites, He said that they had to follow His laws so they could live. So as far as God was saying, from what I can see, is that He said to live, you have to follow what He said.
No, if you want God's blessings. And He gives you a list of commandments.
Yeah.
If you follow them, life is much better for you. Yeah.
All right. So.
But there's lots of Jews who are alive today who don't follow Judaism. They're atheists. And they're still alive, and they have children and the rest of it. Yeah.
All right. So you're saying that those ones you're talking about who are atheists. So you say that feel that they, or according to your belief, they can be saved.
Yeah, they will be saved, whether they like it or not. Everyone goes on to the next life. Everyone.
Right. So I know when you're speaking to this guy earlier, you were mentioning the New Testament a few times, and
because he was Christian, so it was appropriate. Yeah.
Right. So is it because you've you study a little bit just out of interest.
I study a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't have any.
I've got no intention of taking out Christianity, but I like to know what it says.
Right.
And I have no intention of taking out the Quran, but I like to know what it says. Same as Hindu scriptures and others. I like to know what they say, not because I'm thinking of taking them up, no, because I'm very, very happy with Judaism.
Right, so because this is not, there's a Orthodox Jew, like a young guy called Josh, I don't know if you might know him.
Well, who comes here?
Yeah, he's the most famous one, isn't he?
Right, okay. There's a few, yeah.
Yeah, because I asked him about what was it? That was it. The origin of the Christians. And so when we look in the New Testament, all of the Christians were Israelites.
Yeah.
So then, would you then think that?
I'm gonna go.
Oh, all right. Yeah. So, what do you think about them? Do you think that they were like just misguided, or they really was something that happened?
No.
Convinced?
I'm more in favour of Christianity. Now, Jesus, I don't follow him. I'm not a Christian.
Yeah.
What he did, he got the beautiful religion of Judaism, which is quite difficult to follow. He simplified it and made it simple so that other non-Jews could take it up.
Yeah.
So he brought the beautiful religion of Judaism to the rest of the world, or to anybody who wants it.
Yeah.
In a simplified form. So I'm all in favour of it.
Right. So, but what do you think of it? Do you think that they were genuine or just misguided a little bit, or
who?
No, those Israelites who followed Jesus.
No, I don't blame them. Do you know there's 613 laws in Judaism? It's not easy to follow.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind breaking a few laws here and there, so I'll make it a user-friendly religion.
Yeah.
But Christianity is so much easier. The reason why people didn't convert to Judaism, because they could have done, some did, but not many, is it's so difficult. And I think that's why Jesus came along, to make a simplified version so that more people will be attracted to it. And now it's gone from one person to the biggest religion in the world. So it was quite a good idea.
Yeah, because the reason why I'm saying that is because to me it seems as if since it was the Israelites he came to, then wouldn't you think that actually did replace Judaism, since they embraced it so readily?
It's replaced it for some people. Some Jews they took up the what became Christianity. And some stuck with Judaism. Yeah.
Right. And you said you studied the New Testament. What do you think about Jesus' statement saying that he's the only way to the Father?
Well, he's wrong.
Right.
He's wrong.
Right. Okay. So I suppose that's the sticking point.
There's a few things in the New Testament.
Yeah.
A lot of it is really nice, and some of it is blatantly wrong.
Right.
I mean, you don't go to hell for all eternity. I mean, even Adolf Hitler. Okay, he had a place of wailing and gnashing of teeth, which is how to describe hell in the Bible. You're in the concentration camps for a few weeks or a few months, and then you're dead. According to Jesus, you're going to be there for all eternity. There's billions and billions and billions of years in a place of wailing and gnashing of teeth and hellfire. That's wrong. And I'm not surprised a lot of people don't believe God, because they don't believe God would do that.
Yeah, but Jesus doesn't say, that's not exactly what he says.
He says, he says a place of wailing and gnashing of teeth and hellfire for eternity.
Well, he doesn't say that. He says that.
He did it deliberately ambiguously, so that people will think it'll be, being in hell forever. You ask all the Christians here, they come to you all the time, you're going to go to hell forever. They believe that. But because Jesus was a little bit cleverer, he phrased it in such a way that when you meet him in the next life, what it really meant was like this.
So when, in Daniel 12, I'm just trying to remember what he said, because Daniel said about what's going to happen at the end. And he said, and many that sleep, he says, so Daniel 12 and 2 says, and many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall wake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt.
Yeah, I know, and that's, Jews struggle a bit with that.
Right.
Yeah. And the way I understand that is, any bad thing you've done down here, you're going to make up for the next life, But forever, people know, oh yeah, you did such and such, you stole or you robbed.
All right. Yeah, I see. Yeah.
It's like someone who's done something bad down here, gone to prison, apologised, but everyone knows, oh, you're the guy who did that, you're the guy who did that.
Yeah. Oh.
So that's how I see that.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll leave you to that.
Yeah. Nice to talk to you.
All right. Yeah.
All the best.
Cheers.